Hello everyone, I'm Jasmine Sidhu and I welcome you all to my English channel. Now before I should tell you about my today's video, let me first thank all my subscribers for subscribing to my channel, and those who have still not subscribed my channel, quickly subscribe my channel, and those who are viewing my videos with a lot of interest, please do not forget to like and share my videos with your near and dear ones. So let's talk about today's video. My today's video is about the explanation of chapter 5 of Moments book prescribed by CBSE for class 9th students. The name of the chapter is The Happy Prince and it has been penned down by Oscar Wilde. Now if I talk about this author, he was an Irish poet and playwright of 19th century. He was born on 16 October 1854 in Ireland. And if I talk about his style, he had a phenomenal ability to incorporate aspects of both fantasy and realism into his works. He also excelled in his use of imagery, and one of his notable works is The Canterville Ghost. Eventually, he passed away on 30th November 1900 in France. Now let's start with the story. Let me give you a brief background of the story. This story is basically an allegory. Allegory means a story or a poem or even a picture that can be interpreted to reveal a hidden meaning, right? And that hidden meaning is basically the moral of that particular, maybe a picture or a story or a poem. So the story is an allegory which presents its elements in a symbolic manner. The story is about a prince who used to be happy when he was alive. However, he becomes sad when he learned about sorrow after his death. So the author is trying to give us two very important messages over here. Number one is that we must spread happiness around us if we wish to be happy, right? Believe me, if you want yourself to be happy, you need to make your surrounding or the people around you happy. You get innate satisfaction by doing that. And another important message is that disparity and sorrow in society can be overcome by generosity, compassion, and love. Now, if I talk about the characters, there are two important characters, though we have got many secondary characters over here, but the whole story revolves around the happy prince and the bird swallow. The happy prince, he is actually a statue over here in the story, right? He is not alive, and this statue has been decorated with golds and jewels, right? And as I told you, that he never experienced sorrow when he was alive, but when he was mounted tall on a pedestal after his death. At that time, he came to know about the suffering of the countrymen. And this bird swallow, he was a kind-hearted bird. He helped the prince by distributing precious jewels and gold among the poor and needy of the city. And towards the end of the chapter, we'll see that he ultimately sacrificed his life for the humanity, for the well-being of the humanity. So let's start with the summary of the story. Now, how the story starts. The story, as I told you, that it is about this happy prince, right? He was a statue, and one night a swallow stopped by the city on his way to Egypt and decided to rest for a night at the feet of the statue. Suddenly, what this bird experiences, he saw, a drop of water falling on him, and he tried to look out that whether it is a cloudy day or a cloudy night or what is the reason. So when he peeped out, the sky was clear. Then another drop fell over him, and then the third drop, and then finally he took the decision that if he is not able to get shelter underneath such a huge statue, what is the use of staying at this place? So he just was about to leave that place, and he flew. And when he came towards the face of the statue, he saw that the eyes of the prince, they were full with tears. At that time, he came to know that the water droplets, it wasn't the rain, they were the tears of the happy prince. And then he inquired that, who are you? And the prince, he told that, see, I'm happy prince, right? And he told that my eyes could actually see pain now, and me being a prince, I have never experienced sorrow in my life. But now when I'm standing at such a height, I could actually peep into each and everybody's house. And now I am sad that there is so much of misery in my country. And then he told that, see, swallow, there is a seamstress. Seamstress is a tailor who earns her living by stitching, right? And he continues with his story that, see, I could see that the son of the seamstress is not well, and he's demanding oranges from his mother, but she's so poor that she couldn't purchase that. Rather, she has given river water to her son to drink and told him to try to sleep. And at that time, the happy prince, he requested the swallow that, can you please help me out? And you could go and deliver one of the jewels from my statue to the seamstress. He told that you can take out the red ruby from the hilt of my sword and deliver to it. With this, the lady will be able to buy food for her son. The swallow, he was very reluctant. He didn't want to go. But the happy prince, when he made a sad face, he got convinced and he plucked that ruby, flew on top of the city, and eventually reached the house of the seamstress. Over there, he found that seamstress was so tired that she slept on the table. So he kept that stone, ruby stone, near the thimble of the lady. Thimble, you understand, children? Thimble is basically the plastic or the metal cap that we wear on the finger while sewing, so that our finger doesn't get pricked again and again. So he kept it over there, and then he flapped his wings around the forehead of the boy so that he could be put off to bed nicely. And having that nice breeze around him, the boy went into deep slumber. And then he came back and he gave the feedback to the prince that, see, I have delivered it, and he's saying that I'm feeling very warm. So the prince, he replied that this is not the warmth of the weather, it is because you have done a good deed, right? And the next day, the bird was ready to fly to Egypt. The whole day he looked around and roamed into the city, and towards night time he told the happy prince that, see, today I have to go to Egypt. I just came to say goodbye to you. Now at that point again, the happy prince, he narrated another incident, and he told that, see, one more night you can please stay back with me, because I could see a young playwright who was trying to finish a play for the director of the theater. But being too cold, he was unable to write, and on top of it, he wasn't having any fire in the grate, right? And he doesn't even have any rich food to keep him warm, right? So he requested that, please swallow, you can pluck out a sapphire from one of my eyes and you should go and give to the playwright. Again, the swallow, he was hesitant and he inquired that, are you okay? You want to donate your eye? But again, when the prince insisted, he plucked one of the sapphires which were there in his eyes, right? And he carried that sapphire to the playwright's garret. There was a small hole in the garret. He got inside through that, and this young man, he was almost, fainted on his table with the cold and hunger. There was a vase with the withered violet flowers. He kept that sapphire on his table, and he came back. This young playwright, when he got up, he was really happy. He felt that some of his admirers might have come and kept this as a gift for his good work. And he happily accepted it, and he purchased food and fire for himself and completed the play. Now, when Swallow, he came back to him, then he told that, see, I am done with my job, and next day definitely I need to go to Egypt. Then the next day again he went towards the harbor. He sat over the mast of a ship over there. He roamed. He uh, spoke very loudly over there. But nobody paid any heed to this bird, because we could understand swallow is a small bird. Even if on top of his voice the bird is singing or shouting or making noise, people were not able to hear due to the waves of the water. So eventually again he came back that evening, and he was about to tell the prince that somehow he has made up his mind to go to Egypt today eventually. And then the happy prince, he came up with another incident. He told that, see, this girl, it was in that square only where this statue was mounted. He says that I could see this little match girl. She was having a few matches in her hand, but they had fallen into the gutter and all are spoiled. And she knew that if she would go empty handed, her father would beat her, right? So he told Swallow that, please do me a favor, please one more night you stay with me. You can pluck my other eye that was again made up of sapphire and give it to that girl. The bird was really surprised. He told him, he tried to make the prince understand that, see, without eyes, what would you do? But the prince insisted, and he donated his another eye also to the girl. And this girl, she was very happy having that stone in her hand, and she happily went laughing towards her house. And eventually, now we could see that both the eyes were gone. He was not having eyes. At that point, Swallow, he told that, see, I'll become your eyes and I'll tell you what is happening in the country. I won't go to Egypt, though he was aware, right, that the weather was changing in this kingdom. He was going to Egypt. Why? Because Egypt was a warmer place as compared to this place. And being a small bird, he could not bear so much of cold. But still, he told that, see, I'll be with you and I'll tell you the happenings in your country. And what he started doing, he used to sit on the shoulder of the prince, right? And he used to tell all the marvelous things happening in the kingdom. Now, the prince, he told him one fine day that, don't tell me all the positive things. Try to give me the real picture, the miserable plight of the people in my country. And then the swallow bird, he flew into the dark lanes and he discovered about the truth of the kingdom, that rich people, they were actually enjoying in the king in their houses, big houses in this kingdom, and the poor people, the beggars, they were begging on the street. And then he saw two children, those who were hungry, and they were trying to keep them warm under the archway of the bridge, right? But the guard came and scolded them that this is not the place to rest, and perforce they were out in the cold weather. So all these things he explained to the prince, and prince, he came up with the solution that, see, my statue is made up of gold sheets. So you start scraping these sheets and start distributing to the poor and needy people. And eventually, the bird, he started doing that, and slowly, the prince, which was covered with gold, it was all gone. The statue looked quite dull and withered. It was actually, looking very ugly to the common people's eye. And then finally, the cold season sets in, and this winter season was at its peak, which Swallow couldn't bear. And finally, a day came when Swallow was left with no strength in his body, and he decided that he should tell the prince that he is about to die. He mustered some courage and flew up to the face of the prince and told that, prince, I would love to give you a goodbye kiss on your lips, because I know I will not survive long. And at that point, the prince, he told that you can go to Egypt now. But there was no strength left in the body of the bird. So eventually he kissed him on the lips, and he fell down for the house of death at the feet of the prince. And at the same time, there was a cracking sound in the statue as well, and the heart of the prince was divided into two pieces. And the next day, there was the mayor of the city and his team of town councillors, those who visited that area and noticed the condition of the statue, and even they noticed the dead bird at the feet of the statue. So the mayor, he ordered that both of the things should be removed from this place, as it was giving a very shabby look to the city. So eventually, it was decided that the statue will be put into the furnace to melt, and the dead bird was thrown into the heap of garbage. Now, when the statue was put into the furnace, everything melted, but the heart that was made of lead did not melt. So eventually, the people, they picked up the heart and threw it in the heap of garbage where they have thrown the dead bird. And then we'll see towards the end of the chapter that one fine day, God sent one of his angels to the city and asked him to bring two most precious things from there, right? And this angel, he chose to bring the heart and the dead swallow. And the God actually appreciated his angel, and he told that wonderful things you have brought from the earth. And he announced a place in his garden of paradise for the little bird and the happy prince, basically telling us that good deeds always pay results. We should not always expect that if you are doing good, immediately the reward should be given to you. Have patience. One thing is assured, that when you do good deeds, you get the fruit for your good deeds. So that's all in today's chapter, children. I hope you might have understood the explanation. And if you've liked my video, please do not forget to like, share and subscribe my channel. Thank you so much.